Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another impactful and life-changing episode. I'm really happy that you are here, because today we are going to talk about something very real, very human, and very important for your life. We are talking about pain. Yes, pain, something every person in the world feels, something that touches all of us, no matter our age, our language, or our background. And sometimes it doesn't feel good at all. But today, we will look at pain in a new way. We will learn how pain can actually help us, how pain, in many moments of life, becomes our greatest teacher. When life is easy and comfortable, we usually relax. We don't think much. We don't grow much. But when we face pain, when something hurts us, or when we feel confused, lost, or disappointed, something begins to change inside us. Pain makes us ask questions. Pain makes us slow down. Pain makes us look at our life in a deeper way. And many times, pain teaches us lessons that comfort can never teach. In this episode, I will explain why pain can help you understand yourself better, why it can make you stronger, and why it can guide you toward a better life. I want to speak to you today, not just as a podcast host, but as a human who also feels pain, just like you. I want you to know that whatever you are going through right now, you are not alone. We all have moments when life feels heavy. We all have days when our heart feels tired. And sometimes, we don't know why things happen the way they do. But the truth is this: pain is not here to destroy you. Pain is here to teach you something important about who you are and who you can become. So, in today's episode, I will gently walk with you through this idea. We will talk about what pain really is, why it teaches us so much, and how we can learn from it in a healthy, peaceful way. My goal is to help you understand life better, while also helping you practice your English in a simple and easy way. I hope that by the end of this episode, you will feel stronger, calmer, and more connected to your own journey. Thank you for listening. Let's begin. What pain really is. When we hear the word pain, many people think only about physical pain, like when we hurt our hand, or when we fall down, or when we get sick. But pain is not only something that happens to the body. Pain can also happen inside us, in our heart, and in our mind. Emotional pain is when something touches our feelings in a difficult or heavy way. Mental pain is when our thoughts become stressful, confusing, or full of worry. And sometimes, pain comes from life problems, situations that make us feel lost, scared, or unsure about what to do next. This kind of pain is not always visible, but it is very real, and it can affect our life just as strongly as physical pain. Pain is also a message. It is a signal that something in our life needs attention. When we feel emotional or mental pain, it usually means something important inside us wants to be seen. Maybe we need to grow. Maybe we need to change something. Maybe we need to understand something deeper about ourselves or about our life. Pain is like a small voice inside us saying, "Please listen. Something here is important." It may not be a comfortable feeling, but it helps us pay attention to what truly matters. We experience pain in many different moments of our life, even in simple situations. For example, imagine failing a test. It hurts. You feel embarrassed or disappointed in yourself. But that pain is not telling you that you are a bad student. It is telling you that something needs your attention. Maybe you need a new study method, more time, or better preparation. Pain becomes a guide. Another example is losing a friend. It could be because of distance, misunderstanding, or simply life changes. This pain touches the heart. It makes us feel sad or lonely. But even this pain teaches us something: the importance of connection, communication, and valuing the people who stay with us. Sometimes we feel pain when we are simply alone. Even if nothing bad happens, loneliness can still hurt. It makes us question ourselves and our place in the world. But this kind of pain can guide us to build stronger relationships, to understand ourselves better, or to find new ways to care for our emotional well-being. Mistakes also bring pain. When we make a mistake, we often feel upset or frustrated with ourselves. But mistakes are powerful teachers. They show us what we need to fix, what we need to try again, and how we can improve. Without the pain of mistakes, we would never learn anything new. We would stay the same forever. So when we talk about pain, we are talking about something much bigger than just hurting the body. We are talking about a natural part of life that speaks to us and helps us grow. Pain is not here to punish us. Pain is here to guide us. It is a signal that invites us to understand ourselves and our life more deeply. Now that we understand what pain really is and why it appears in our life in many different forms, let's take the next step together. Let's understand why pain teaches us better than comfort. Why pain teaches more than comfort. When life feels easy, comfortable, and relaxed, we usually stay the same. We don't think deeply about our choices. We don't question our habits. We don't ask ourselves if we are growing or improving. Comfort is pleasant, but it can make us sleepy. It can make us forget that life is always moving, always changing. Pain, however, wakes us up. It shakes us. It slows us down. And it makes us look at our life with open eyes. When something hurts, we suddenly pay attention. We ask ourselves, why did this happen? What should I do next? How can I avoid this pain in the future? Pain pushes us to grow in ways comfort never can. Imagine a student who fails a test. In the beginning, the failure feels painful. The student feels embarrassed, disappointed, maybe even angry. But this pain does something powerful. It wakes the student up. Suddenly, the student cares more. They study harder. They try new methods. They focus better. The pain of failure becomes the reason for future success. Without the pain, the student might continue doing the same thing forever. Pain makes us look at our life and ask for change. Another reason pain teaches us more than comfort is because pain makes us stronger. When we face something difficult and survive it, we discover a new kind of strength inside ourselves. It is similar to lifting heavy weights at the gym. At first, the weight feels too heavy, and our muscles feel tired. But over time, the muscles grow. They become stronger because of the pressure. Emotional pain works in the same way. When we experience loss, rejection, disappointment, or confusion, it feels heavy. But when we get through it, we build emotional muscles. We learn how to stay calm. We learn how to stand again. We learn how to keep moving even when life gets hard. Comfort cannot build this strength. Only pain can. Pain also helps us understand what truly matters in our life. When everything is going well, we often get distracted by things that are not important. We chase things that don't give real happiness. But when pain enters our life, it removes the noise. It shows us what is real. For example, when we get sick, we suddenly realize how important health is. When someone we love goes far away, we understand how precious time and connection are. When we feel stressed or lost, we learn the value of peace. Pain clears our vision. It teaches us to appreciate the simple, meaningful things that we often take for granted. One of the most beautiful lessons pain teaches us is empathy, the ability to understand and feel what others are going through. When we suffer, our heart becomes softer. We become gentler with other people. We stop judging so quickly. We understand that everyone is fighting their own battles, even if we don't see them. Pain teaches us kindness. It teaches us patience. It teaches us to treat others with care, because we know what it feels like to hurt. People who have never faced pain often do not understand the true feelings of others, but those who have suffered even a little become wiser and more compassionate. So when we look at pain closely, we can see that it is not only a negative experience. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it is uncomfortable. But inside that pain, there is knowledge. There is growth. There is strength. Pain shapes us into better human beings. It wakes us up. It builds us. It guides us. And it opens our heart to the world around us. Now that we have explored these powerful ideas, let's move forward and look at a simple emotional story that shows how pain can change someone's life in a real and meaningful way. A relatable, simple, and powerful emotional story. Let me tell you a story about a young man named Daniel. Daniel was a quiet and hopeful person who dreamed of building a better life for himself. He worked hard in his studies. He tried to be kind to people, and he always believed that if he did everything right, life would go smoothly. But life, as we all know, does not always follow our plans. One year, Daniel faced a painful season that changed him in many ways. It started with failure. Daniel applied for a job he really wanted. He prepared for weeks. He practiced every day. He believed he had a good chance. But when the results came, he discovered that he didn't get the job. Someone else was chosen. Daniel felt broken inside. He felt like all his hard work was wasted. He felt embarrassed and disappointed. For a few days, he didn't want to talk to anyone. He didn't want to try again. He thought, maybe I'm not good enough. This painful moment made him question himself deeply. Not long after that, Daniel faced another pain: heartbreak. He had been in a relationship with someone he cared about very much. But slowly, things changed. They started to argue more. They began to grow apart. One day, she told him that she wanted to end the relationship. Daniel felt empty. It felt like a piece of his heart was gone. He cried alone at night. He wondered why people leave. He wondered if something was wrong with him. The pain stayed with him for a long time, like a quiet shadow following him everywhere. During this difficult period, Daniel also struggled with fear. He feared the future. He feared failing again. He feared losing more people. Every day felt heavy. Every morning felt like a challenge. He woke up with questions and went to sleep with more questions. And when he looked at his life, he felt lost. He thought he was moving backward instead of forward. This fear was also a kind of pain, the pain of not knowing what will happen next. But even in these painful moments, something important was happening inside Daniel. At first, he didn't notice it. Pain usually teaches quietly. Slowly, Daniel began to reflect on his life. He realized that his failure in the job interview pushed him to look at his skills honestly. He noticed what he needed to improve. It made him more focused. It made him work harder, not because he wanted to prove something to others, but because he wanted to grow. Heartbreak also taught him something powerful. It taught him that love is not always about holding on. Sometimes love is about letting go. It taught him that he deserved someone who truly understood him and supported him. It taught him to protect his heart, but also to keep it open. And the pain helped him understand other people who were suffering from heartbreak too. He became more gentle and more patient with friends who were hurting. The fear he felt showed him that he was stronger than he thought. Every day he woke up and continued with his life. Even when it was hard, he learned something new about his own courage. Slowly, fear lost some of its power, because Daniel realized he could live with it and still move forward. Little by little, Daniel started to change. Pain softened him, but also strengthened him. He became wiser because he knew how it felt to struggle. He became kinder because he understood how heavy life can feel. He became more focused because he learned the importance of his dreams. His painful season did not destroy him. It shaped him into a better version of himself. A few months later, Daniel applied for another job. This time he was more prepared, more confident, and more calm. He got the job, not because life suddenly became easy, but because pain had prepared him. Pain had given him clarity, strength, and patience. Looking back, Daniel realized something important. The pain he experienced was not there to break him. It was there to build him. And even though he never wanted to feel that pain again, he was grateful for what it taught him. This story is a reminder that pain changes us, but not in a bad way. It teaches, it guides, and it opens our heart. Now, let's move on and talk about the practical lessons that pain can teach us in our everyday life. Practical lessons pain can teach us. Pain is not only an emotional experience, it is also a quiet teacher that shows us important lessons about life and about ourselves. These lessons do not come fast or easily, but they come with meaning. And many times, we only understand these lessons after we walk through something difficult. Let's talk about some of the most powerful lessons that pain teaches us in a simple, gentle way. One of the first lessons pain teaches is patience. Growth is not quick. It is slow, and sometimes it feels too slow. When we feel pain, we often want things to change immediately. We want the problem to disappear. We want the sadness to end. We want life to feel normal again. But pain teaches us that change takes time, and healing takes time. Think about learning English. You cannot become fluent in 1 week. You learn slowly, step by step, day by day. Some days you feel confident. Other days you feel lost. But the slow and steady process is what brings real improvement. Pain works the same way. It teaches us to breathe, to wait, and to trust the process. It teaches us that good things grow quietly. Pain also teaches resilience, the ability to stand again after falling. When we face a difficult moment, like failing an interview, receiving a low exam score, or feeling nervous while speaking in public, we might feel weak at first. But when we try again, something inside us becomes stronger. Each time we rise after a fall, our inner strength grows. Pain shows us that we do not break easily. Even when life pushes us down, we can get up again. We may get up slowly, but we do get up. And that is resilience. Interviews, exams, and public speaking moments can feel scary or painful, but every challenge we face makes us braver for the next one. Another lesson pain teaches is self-awareness. Pain makes us stop and look inside ourselves. It makes us ask questions like, who am I? What do I really want? What do I need to change? When life is comfortable, we don't ask these important questions. We simply continue our routine without thinking deeply. But pain pushes us to explore our thoughts, our feelings, and our habits. It shows us parts of ourselves that we often ignore. Maybe we discover that we need healthier boundaries. Maybe we learn that we deserve better treatment. Maybe we realize that we need to grow in confidence or discipline. Pain opens the door to understanding ourselves better. Pain also teaches us gratitude. After we go through a hard moment, simple things begin to feel beautiful again. A normal day with no problems feels peaceful. A small message from a friend feels warm. A walk outside feels healing. A calm moment feels special. Pain helps us appreciate things we once ignored. When we lose something, like health, time, or someone we love, we understand how valuable these things truly are. And when life becomes calm again, we feel thankful in a deeper way. Pain teaches us to see the world with new eyes. Another powerful lesson pain teaches is responsibility. When something goes wrong, it is easy to blame others or blame the world. But pain shows us that real change begins with ourselves. We learn that we cannot control everything, but we can control our actions, our attitude, and our choices. Pain teaches us to take charge of our life. It teaches us to say, what can I do to improve my situation? Instead of, why is this happening to me? This lesson is not simple, but it is one of the most important steps toward maturity and personal growth. All of these lessons, patience, resilience, self-awareness, gratitude, and responsibility, are gifts that pain brings into our life. They are not easy gifts, but they are powerful ones. They shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate human beings. When we start seeing pain in this way, we begin to understand that even difficult moments have meaning. Now that we understand these lessons, let's go even deeper and explore how we can understand pain in a healthier, more peaceful way, instead of fighting it or running away from it. Understanding pain instead of fighting it. Many people spend their whole life trying to avoid pain. They run from it, hide from it, or try to ignore it. But the truth is that pain is not our enemy. Pain is not here to destroy us or punish us. Pain is a natural part of being human. It is a feeling that tells us something important is happening in our life. When we stop fighting pain and start understanding it, everything begins to change. Pain is a message. It is like a guide that arrives during the most difficult moments. It may not speak with words, but it communicates through feelings. When we feel sad, confused, disappointed, or afraid, the pain is usually trying to tell us something. Maybe it is telling us that we need to slow down. Maybe it is telling us that we need to change our direction. Maybe it is telling us that someone or something in our life is not good for our peace. Pain speaks to us, but we have to be willing to listen. Instead of saying, Why is this happening to me? We can begin asking a different question. What is this pain trying to teach me? This simple question opens the door to growth. When we ask it, we become calmer. We become more aware. We begin to see the situation from a bigger perspective. For example, if someone disappoints you, the pain might be teaching you about boundaries, trust, or self-respect. If you fail at something, the pain might be teaching you about preparation, discipline, or patience. If you feel lonely, the pain might be guiding you to build stronger connections or to understand yourself better. When we look at pain in this way, it becomes less frightening. We stop seeing it as something we must escape. Instead, we see it as a teacher walking beside us, showing us where we need to grow. This doesn't mean pain feels good. It doesn't mean we enjoy it, but it does mean we can respect it, learn from it, and move through it with more courage. Seeing pain differently can also give us more peace. When we fight pain, we create more stress. We become angry, frustrated, or hopeless. But when we accept that pain is a part of life, we relax a little. We breathe a little easier. We understand that we are not weak for feeling pain. We are human, and every human being carries some kind of pain inside them. Knowing this can make us feel less alone. Understanding pain also helps us grow into kinder and wiser people. When we accept our own pain, we become more patient with others. We understand that everyone has a story, everyone has scars, and everyone is trying their best. This understanding helps us connect better with people and build deeper relationships. So, the next time you feel pain, whether it is emotional, mental, or spiritual, try to pause for a moment, sit with the feeling, breathe, and ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? You might be surprised by the answers that come. Pain can open doors that comfort never will. Now that we have learned how to understand pain in a healthier way, let's talk about how we can actually learn from pain and take positive steps forward in our life. How to learn from pain in a healthy way. Learning from pain in a healthy way is a gentle and careful process. The first and most important step is to slow down and breathe. When pain arrives, our body often reacts quickly. We may breathe fast, our heart may beat faster, and our mind may race with many thoughts. This makes everything feel worse. If you stop for a moment and take slow, deep breaths, your body and mind begin to calm. Breathing helps you feel more present. It helps you think more clearly. Even 5 slow breaths can make a big difference. When you breathe, you give yourself space to feel without being overwhelmed. After you calm your body a little, try to name the pain. Saying simple words like, I feel sad, I feel angry, or I feel lost can be very powerful. When you name your emotion, it becomes real and manageable. It moves from a big, heavy cloud into a clear idea you can hold in your hands. Naming the pain does not make it bigger. Instead, it makes it smaller and easier to understand. You can say these words out loud or quietly in your mind. You can use 1 or 2 words only. This small act helps your brain and heart to begin the healing process. Talking to someone you trust is another important step. Pain can feel very heavy when we try to carry it alone. A trusted friend, family member, or a good listener can help you feel lighter. They do not need to fix your problem. Often, the most helpful thing is simply to listen. When you tell your story, your feelings become less confusing. The person who listens may offer a new view, comfort, or advice. Choose someone who respects you and who will not judge you. If talking to a person feels hard, you can also speak to a counselor or a teacher. The important thing is to connect with another human being. Writing your thoughts down can also help a lot. When we write, we move our feelings from our heart to the page. This action helps us organize our thoughts and see patterns. You can write as a list, or you can write like a letter to yourself. You can write what happened, how you feel, and what you want to do next. Sometimes you will discover new ideas while writing. Sometimes writing will help you release what is inside and let you sleep better at night. Even a short note each day can become a map of your healing journey. After you have breathed, named the pain, and shared it with someone or written it down, try to take one small step forward. Big changes feel hard when you are in pain. So choose one small thing you can do today. It can be as simple as going for a short walk, sending a message to a friend, or reading a page of a good book. Small steps build momentum. Each step shows your mind that you can move forward. Over time, these small steps become big changes. Remember, you do not need to do everything at once. One small step is enough to start. Give yourself time. Healing is not a race. Some wounds need months to grow strong again. It is okay to move slowly. You may feel better some days and worse on other days. This is normal. Time helps soften the sharp edges of pain. Be patient with yourself and do not compare your healing with others. Each person has their own pace. Trust that with time and gentle care, the pain will change and you will learn from it. Finally, be kind to yourself. Pain can bring harsh inner voices that say, "You should be better," or "You failed." These thoughts only increase the pain. Instead, speak to yourself like a kind friend. Use simple, supportive words. "I am doing my best. It is okay to feel this way." Or, "I will try again tomorrow." Small acts of kindness to yourself can also help. Make a warm cup of tea, rest, or do a small activity that brings comfort. Self-kindness does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means treating yourself with care while you take the next steps. If you practice these steps, slow down and breathe. Name the pain, talk to someone you trust, write your thoughts down, take one small step forward, give yourself time, and be kind to yourself. You will create a healthy path through pain. This path will not remove all difficulty, but it will help you learn from the pain and grow stronger. Each small step builds new strength. Each moment of kindness to yourself builds new peace. Over time, pain can become a teacher that helps you live with more wisdom and more calm. A hopeful, gentle reminder. Sometimes, in the middle of everything we are going through, we need someone to softly remind us that pain does not last forever. It may feel heavy today, it may feel confusing, it may feel like a storm that refuses to end. But storms never stay. They pass. They always pass. And just like that, the pain that feels permanent right now will slowly become lighter, softer, and easier to carry. You may not notice the change every day, but deep inside, something in you is already healing, already growing, already becoming stronger. And this is the beautiful truth. Pain is temporary, but the growth that comes from pain lasts much longer. Sometimes it even stays for life. Think about the moments in your past that once hurt so much. The moments you thought you would never overcome. Somehow, you survived them. Somehow, you learned something, even if it was small. Maybe you became more patient. Maybe you became more understanding. Maybe you became more courageous. Pain shapes us quietly, slowly, and often without us realizing it. One day you look back and say, I am not the same person anymore. I am stronger now. That strength is your gift. It is proof of your resilience. You might not feel strong today, but strength does not always feel loud. Sometimes strength feels like getting out of bed when you don't want to. Sometimes it feels like taking a deep breath. Sometimes it feels like trying one more time after failing. You are stronger than you think because you are still here, still listening, still trying to grow. Even on difficult days, your heart keeps moving forward. That is strength. That is bravery. That is something to be proud of. When you look at the strongest people in the world, the ones you admire, the ones who inspire you, you will notice something. Most of them didn't become strong because life was easy. They became strong because life was hard. Pain taught them how to stand again. Challenges showed them who they truly are. Difficult moments gave them the depth, the wisdom, the compassion that you see today. No one becomes strong by accident. Strength is built through experience, through tears, through lessons, through moments of confusion and growth. And the same is happening with you, even if you can't see it clearly right now. And please remember this, especially on the days when you feel tired or alone. You are not walking through your pain alone. Many people in this world have felt what you are feeling. Many people are healing at the same time as you, and many people have already reached the other side and are quietly cheering for you, hoping you continue. You may not see them, but you are part of a human experience that connects us all. Pain is a bridge that shows us we are more similar than we think. Someone, somewhere, understands you deeply without even knowing your name. So be gentle with yourself and take comfort in this soft truth. You are not alone. You are growing, even in the dark. The pain will pass, the lessons will stay, and you will come out of this chapter wiser, softer, and more powerful than before. Give yourself time. Give yourself patience. Your story is still unfolding, and brighter days are on their way. As we come to the end of this episode, I want to leave you with a soft and simple reminder, something you can carry with you long after the podcast ends. Pain is not just something we survive. Pain is a teacher. It teaches us truth when we are confused. It teaches us strength when we feel weak. It teaches us patience when life moves too slowly. And it teaches us meaning when we feel lost. Every difficult moment you have lived through has shaped you, even in small ways, helping you grow into the person you are becoming. Sometimes the lessons come quietly, sometimes they arrive with tears, and sometimes they take a long time to understand. But they always come. Pain may hurt, but it never leaves us empty-handed. And maybe today is a good moment to pause and think gently about your own journey. Think about your life, your past, your struggles, your challenges. Think about all the moments that made you stronger, even when they were difficult. If you could choose just one painful experience that taught you something important, what would it be? Maybe it made you wiser. Maybe it made you kinder. Maybe it showed you who truly cares about you. Or maybe it simply helped you understand yourself better. Take a moment to reflect on that. Sometimes the simple act of recognizing your own growth can be healing. And remember, you are not only learning about life, you are also learning English. You are trying, practicing, listening, improving a little more every day. And I want you to know how proud you should feel. Learning a language is not easy, and learning life lessons at the same time can feel even heavier. But you are doing both. You are growing your mind and your heart. You are giving yourself new opportunities, new knowledge, new skills. That is something to celebrate. I hope this podcast helps you not only learn English, but also understand yourself more deeply, step by step, episode by episode. As you continue your English journey, I encourage you to keep listening, keep practicing, and keep learning with us. These podcasts are here to support you, to guide you, to give you motivation and clarity when you need it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Every small step counts. Every time you listen, every time you repeat a sentence, every time you understand something new, it matters. It all adds up. Trust yourself. You are doing better than you think. And before we say goodbye, I want to leave you with warmth. I want you to know that wherever you are listening from, whatever you are going through, I am sending you encouragement, strength, and peace. You are not alone on this journey. You are learning, growing, healing, and becoming better every day. Thank you for spending this time with me, for listening with an open heart, and for giving yourself the chance to grow. Take care, my friend. Keep learning. Keep moving. And remember, your story is still unfolding. I'll see you in the next episode.